Boop, boom.
Hola, senores y senoritas. Our Kocosports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got the Coco crew here holding it down live. You got yours truly, the sexiest man on all Overnet Wrestling Radio. That's right, boom, boom, here, shaking the room live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. And of course, joining me there way across the pond in Tokyo, Japan, the man, the myth, the internet legend, Dave Coco. Hola, Coco. How the hell are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. This is our weekly Lucha Underground review. As always, we ask win, loss, or tie. So, Booms, what are you giving it?
Muy bien. I'm going to give it a win.
All right. I'm giving it a win, too, and what a great week it's been for pro wrestling. I think every show I've seen has been a win this week. I'm really enjoying it, and like it's weird because like when you review wrestling, it's like wow, we've had a good week of wrestling. It's a good feeling. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It moved a lot of storylines along. Some of the storylines I think they were a bit stuck, but still they did what they could. So I enjoyed the show a lot. All right, you want to break it down?
Yeah, let's break it down here. It's a lot of fun, of course. Lucha Underground coming to you live from the Temple in Los Angeles, California, courtesy of the El Rey Network. The show actually starts, take two. The show actually opens with a little bit of I don't know if I can really call it a vignette. It's just kind of like, this is what I like about Lucha Underground. They shoot the in-between stuff, the backstage stuff, like you would actually shoot a movie. So I really don't know how to approach this, but anyway, it was Alberto El Patron and Johnny Mundo. They go into Dario's office and they're kind of arguing about who should face Prince Puma for the Lucha Underground title. And they were saying, well, even though we both disagree who we think should take on Prince Puma, one thing we both can agree on is that we don't feel like Hernandez is worthy of it. So Dario said, okay, I'll tell you what. You two will face each other tonight, and whoever comes out the winner will face Hernandez, and that person will become the new #1 contender. So, I think that was a great opening segment. They've actually been teasing this match between Alberto El Patron and Johnny Mundo for quite some time now. They talk about, hey, well, how does Hernandez get to jump us? We've been here longer. We've been doing this. And then you see Dario kind of seeing dollar signs in his eyes, and he puts together a match, and then he makes it mean something. Dario, in my opinion, Dave, is probably a heel general manager done right. Yeah, he's a bad guy. He's very smarmy, despicable, and underhanded, but there is a little bit of method to his madness. He makes matches mean things. There's reasons for why he does what he does. And I think ultimately, while the viewers will boo him, he does bring something to the table and makes the show just a little bit more enjoyable because he makes things matter. And I think this was a great way to start off the match. And it follows up last week's storyline with Hernandez winning. That triple threat match, the betrayal, not really betrayal, but interference against, in the Puma Drago match. So one thing I do like about Lucha Underground, Dave, is the consistency of storytelling and just how well they don't forget what happened last week or 2 or 3 weeks ago. They tie everything back together, and so that's a big win in my book. But Dave, I know I'm kind of going long and long and long about this opening segment. Were you as happy with the tone that this backstage segment started off the show with?
I was, and I like it because they pay attention to small details. The owner is evil. No matter what the owner gives a decision for, you're kind of like, that fucking son of a bitch. But I like the fact that Lucha Underground at least puts effort, and a lot of effort, into paying attention to small details. And when you become a fan of something, it doesn't matter if it's pro wrestling, comic books, movies, books. People want the small details. In writing, people will pay more money for an extra chapter than the actual book because they want to know, they want the details, they want to know the situation. So to me, I just respect any art form that pays attention to the details. And for pro wrestling, I don't think anyone pays more attention to the details than Lucha Underground. And I absolutely enjoy it. Now, the owner is absolutely evil, but he's believable evil. And for a guy, a grown man who watches too much pro wrestling, including indie wrestling at every level, Vince McMahon and Vince Russo destroyed the evil owner. If you go to any indie fed, it doesn't matter if there's 20 or 200 people, 90% of those indie feds will have a fucking owner acting like Vince McMahon. Will have an owner acting like Vince Russo. It fucking will drive you absolutely nuts. You know, he'll be like, I'm rich, look at me, bitch. I'm so powerful, you're fired. Get out of my arena. Blah, 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 blah. They do this bullshit fucking act, and there's like 20 people. Where, yeah, most for storytelling, most owners, most power has to be evil because that's how your heroes overcome it. But the fact that he's evil, but he's not a copy, a clone of Vince McMahon or Vince Russo, to me, makes me enjoy him even more. So he took evil owner and made it his own. And a lot of people in pro wrestling do not do that. I mean, let's be completely honest. Everyone is a spinoff of a McMahon somehow, and you don't feel that with him.
Yeah, and typically speaking, I don't understand why you would want to have a heel GM or a heel owner because, I mean, typically speaking, I'm just thinking like, let's just, kayfabe step out, just take a step out of it and look back in. Why would you want to support a company where the owner made fun of the fans or hated the fans or was a total dick to the people that you like, that you paid to see?
Yeah, definitely, and not that, but also it's you don't really need an owner if it's shitty. And I'm not attacking Lucha Underground. I'm attacking the Indies. You don't have to have a fucking owner. You don't. Like, it's not like a key role to fucking pro wrestling. And here's the thing: if it's not a key role and it's done poorly, just don't have it. Don't have it. Bad Indies. Bad Indies. All right, let's talk about the first match.
Okay, first match was the newly crowned Trios Tag Team Champions, at least 2/3 of them, Angelico and Son of Havoc, accompanied by Ivelisse, taking on Mr. Cisco and Cortez Castro. They're representing the crew. Of course, they're accompanied by Bale. Of course, a non-title match because it was a tag team 2-1-2 instead of 3. I think a great opening bout. It went crazy, went all over the place, went to the outside. Angelico with that beautiful front flip dive onto Cisco and Castro. Castro reminiscent of the dive that he did from the top of the temple. Was losing some knees into Cisco, but Son of Havoc tags in. But he wound up falling prey to the Psycho realm from Castro Cortez, and of course he was pinned. Of course, the crew picking up a much-needed win. I think this was a great way to start off the match and to further the storyline with the Trios Tag Team titles, because if you have them win, then you're going to have the crew out of the Trios hunt. I think they needed this win to kind of get the heat back on, because before the Trios Championship, they've been out for weeks. So they needed to kind of come back and get that heat back on them, get back into that hunt. And plus, the champions need to buy a little time because Ivelisse is hurt. She suffered a broken ankle in that Trios Championship match, and in my opinion, I think she's a front runner for Female Wrestler of the Year solely off that match because, I mean, come on, she broke her fucking ankle in the match. I mean, this is before the crew even came out. She essentially wrestled 2 matches, hobbled around on 1 foot, never cried, never complained, never bitched, and did her job, and was arguably one of the best matches that I've seen. and that's fucking no joke. So while I know some people weren't thrilled that, particularly like, fan favorite Son of Havoc and the newly crowned champions are taking a loss, I think I found it to be a very good opener. And I'm kind of interested because I want to see the crew kind of get built up because you kind of know that they're going to get thrown to Dario's brother, and I want to see what's in that cage.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. I think this was adjusting booking, and they did a great job on it. It keeps the crew strong. Son of Havoc is crazy over, and I feel so good for him. Every time the believers and the temple start cheering for him, I just think of that whore Trish Stratus. I'm so happy that Son of Havoc is getting over, and from Glass Joe to being that over is absolutely amazing.
Really, who else is Son of Havoc?
He's M-Dog 20. He was cut by Trish Stratus for not being good enough.
I remember. Oh, God, yeah, I remember him now. Oh, thank you. I didn't know that with the beard and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I enjoyed this. They had to adjust on the fly. My big thing is I absolutely hate the crew, but in a good way, not like in an Alex Riley kind of way. I actually hate the crew, and but as I hate them, I respect them for hating them so much. I thought they came off weak, and week after week, they lost to, basically they lost every feud. But here they come out, they're going against the champs. It's 2-on-2 because one broke an ankle and they win. I think that, rebuilds the crew. Son of Havoc and Helico have a decent match. The audience is into it. And I enjoy everything about it. And I wonder what they're going to do and how long Release is going to be out. And like you said, much credit. I didn't give Release enough credit for, a bad term of words here, but manning up and finishing the match. Because look at an NBA playoffs. Someone breaks a fucking ankle, they're crying on the floor. She broke her fucking ankle and just ate it like a Marine. Just like, fuck that. Broken ankle, duct tape, bitch, I'm finishing this shit off. So
Dave, I should mention this, and I don't know why, and I'm not doing this to kind of give myself a Barry Horowitz, but I realized that I hadn't really given her the credit for that. So I actually, on my own personal Twitter account, tweeted Evilise, and all it just said was, "You are badass, love Lucha Ground, best of luck," and she favorited my tweet. So yes, woo!
Go on, Barry Horowitz. It feels good, doesn't it? You dirty.
Listen. It does. It does so much.
But yeah, the crew does win Flapjack Codebreaker, which I really enjoy that finisher move. And it adds to the story. And not only that, but I hate to say this because it's kind of a dick move to say, but her broken ankle makes what they're going to do next intriguing. Like, where do they go from here? So I want to see where they take it from here. All right, go ahead. Next segment.
The next segment, we're introduced to the newest member of Lucha Underground, the man formerly known as Daivari. He will now be known as Delavar Daivari in Lucha Underground, sitting back drinking some scotch in Dario's office, talked about giving his match. His first match is, of course, with Tejano. This match, again, and I don't know what it is about Tejano, but apparently they're just saving him for something because these two squared off. This match came about because during the Trios finals, Tejano was pushed into Daivari, and Daivari got up and started clocking him. I wouldn't go as far as to say beat him up, but slapped him around enough to piss him off. And so these two obviously had an axe to grind, and they went at it immediately. Daivari went into the corner. The referee was trying to get Tejano off of Daivari. Tejano pushes him down. This causes disqualification. So Daivari wins his first match in roughly 15 seconds due to a disqualification. So I really didn't see enough to kind of pass judgment on this, but this is 2 weeks in a row where Tejano has either just come in and beat the crap out of people, and obviously now getting disqualified. So apparently I guess this is going to be the next big feud. Apparently they're turning Tejano face. I think this should solidify it, in my opinion. So, Dave, what do you think about the hiring of Daivari and Tahano's face turn, and where do you go from here with this?
I like Davari's character. One thing is I didn't like Davari just coming out of the crowd and attacking someone. I hate those fucking storylines. I absolutely fucking despise those storylines because, all right, first off, the kayfabe universe, it just seems anyone can beat up your pro wrestlers. The illusion is fucking broken. Second is,
now, Dave, to that, you got to think you're wrestling. Even casual wrestling fans would probably recognize Davari, that he is a trained professional wrestler, and he just kind of did that to get himself over. I mean, I know what you're saying. In the kayfabe world, it's a fan putting his hands on a professional wrestler, which is obviously a big no-no, both in real life. But you got to suspend some disbelief and go, well, people know who Davari is, and he's a trained professional wrestler. I'm not. So he's putting his hands on him. And do you want to, I guess what I'm asking is, can't you just cut him just a little bit of slack for that?
No. I fucking hate it. I despise it, the kayfabe universe. I despise it in the shoot universe. No. It's my thing. Hey, maybe some you can forgive him. I can't. But with that said, I do like the fact that Davari, once again, Matt Striker is the best in the fucking business. I can listen to Matt Striker call fucking anything, and it'll be interesting. I like the fact that Matt Striker put over the storyline of how, most people sell T-shirts on the indies, but he did it in a way of not insulting them. This guy actually made a lot of money going back, and he's just absolutely loves fighting. I like the fact that he was playing texting or Angry Birds or whatever while talking to the boss. So there's a lot of stuff that I do enjoy about it. And Tahano is really famous in AAA. He was like their youngest champion. I'm not a AAA expert, but I would say he's probably the face of the company right now. I guess Del Rio too, but Del Rio's kind of like, look, I'm a WWE guy, look at me, where Tahano's like, no, I'm fucking been here from day one, bullshit. Yeah, I absolutely like it. I don't know how I feel about this qualification because, like, when the match rang, I was like, too soon. This is way too soon. You can't give this match up right away. That's what I was feeling being fucking backseat booker. And then they both fought to a disqualification. I'm like, oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. And you know how like people blindly hate the IWC or pro wrestling fans, or you know what I mean? Like you go on and they'll just be like, my cupcake was cold and thanks #IWC. I dropped my donut #thanks IWC. I love grape juice. I don't care what anyone says IWC. Like they fucking just have a blind hatred for something that doesn't exist. I have a blind hatred for something that does exist, and this hatred goes farther than my hatred for John Cena. I absolutely despise fucking ring announcers. I've worked with ring announcers. I've talked to ring announcers. They are the biggest fucking douchebags ever. Ever. I'm friends with ring announcers, and I'll straight up tell them, be like, I fucking hate you. I fucking hate ring announcers. If you ever meet a ring announcer and you don't fucking hate them, I don't understand it. I don't give a fuck if you're running the promotion. I don't give a fuck if you're in the media. I don't care if you're a wrestler. I fucking despise ring announcers. Like I despise ring announcers so fucking much that if I go to shake my hand, I'm like, hey, my name's Dave. What's your name? And like, I'm Joe, the ring announcer. I fucking drop his hand right away and walk away. No. This conversation's not even happening. I fucking despise you. If I got hit by a goddamn fucking car, well, I'm walking to 7-Eleven in Tokyo, some drunk driver hits me, I'm fucking, oh my God, I'm dying. And the doctor's like, I can save you, but I'm a ring announcer. I'm like, bitch, I'm dead. Walk the fuck away, you piece of shit fucking ring announcer. With that said, I absolutely love the Lucha Underground's ring announcer. She just does her fucking job. And you're thinking, wow, Dave, that's not a reason to fucking love someone. You don't know how many ring announcers are completely fucking clueless and don't do their fucking job. The fact that she does her fucking job correctly makes her the greatest goddamn ring announcer of all time. Fuck ring announcers, and Terry Funk bless Lucha Underground's ring announcer because she is the only fucking ring announcer in the history history of ring announcers that does her fucking job correctly. So you know what? If a ring announcer has to save my life, I hope it's her. Fuck other ring announcers. Fuck them all. They're all pieces of shit. And if you don't fucking agree, it's because you haven't met a fucking ring announcer. It's bullshit. Matter of fact, everyone dreams of running their own promotion. You run one show, you'll hate your ring announcer. They are the biggest fucking pieces of shit ever. Sorry, dude. Sorry. I had to fucking do it because she's giving the announcement. She says, oh shit, runs out of the ring. And I'm just like, you can never get a ring announcer to do that. She's a fucking genius. You go tell a ring announcer anywhere. They're like, hey, fucking Penzer, you gotta fucking say, oh shit, and run out of the way. They're fucking it up. They are fucking it up. There's no goddamn way a ring announcer accomplishes anything. Just trust me on this one. I don't need to be an insider. I don't need. This is the line. Like if someone on the comments like, oh, I met a ring announcer once and it wasn't too bad. I like my ring announcer. No. You're wrong. They're all fucking horrible except her. Fucking hate ring announcers. I just wanted to give her props because like I was just sitting there. She's giving the announcement. She says, oh shit, dives out of the way, and I was amazed. Not by the writing, not by this segment, that a goddamn ring announcer did the right thing. And she did it earlier with the broken arm situation, too. I love this woman. I don't even know her name. I feel bad. But she is the greatest fucking ring announcer ever. Go fuck yourself, Buffer. Go fuck yourself, Penzer. Whoever the fuck you are. Greatest ring announcer ever. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on a rant. I had to get it off my chest. I've been holding that one back for years. Ring announcers are the biggest fucking pieces of shit ever. Listen, I love my kids. I don't care if they become gay. I don't care if they become crazy fucking people. I don't care if they become, what's bisexual, transsexual, find a crazy religion. I don't care what my kids do. I will disown any of my kids if they start dating a ring announcer. Not her. Fucking hate ring announcers. They're such fucking horrible people. If we got any downvotes, we know we have ring announcers audience. Fucking ring announcers. And I'm gonna give Lenny Leonard a pass because I don't see Lenny Leonard as a ring announcer. He's just an announcer. He's just an announcer.
Okay.
But Lenny Leonard's still a piece of shit when he is a ring announcer, I assure you. And I'll tell him that. To his fucking face. I fucking hate ring announcers. Like, for wrestling's fucking dirty. Wrestling's a dirty business. One more thing, and then we'll get back on track. Wrestling's a dirty fucking business. I assure you. You're going to meet the scummiest of fucking people. Nothing beats ring announcers. Like, really, like, I hated my fucking ring announcer so goddamn much that I paid James Legend an extra $20 so I wouldn't have to talk to him. I'm like, hey, James, here's $20. I never want to speak to my ring announcer ever again. And James is like, okay. I just assume, like, as soon as a wrestler's like, yeah, we can have the ring announcer. No, they suck. They're fucking horrible human beings. They can't do anything. So I got to find out what her name is because right now she's going into the Hall of Fame as a fucking ring announcer because they all fucking suck. Every fucking single one of them. Pieces of shit. Moving on.
Dave, did anybody ever tell you had a really tough time, expressing yourself? You're very soft-spoken.
You know what it is? It's one of those things. I think people are going to be like, no, Dave, you're over the top. Run your own show. Run your own show. You'll be like, everything was great, but you're absolutely right. I despise that fucking ring announcer. Fuck him. Doesn't matter who it is. Go to... Dude, it doesn't because, like, I've worked with the big-name ring announcers because, I ran shows in Major League Baseball stadiums and worked with big-ass fucking... I hated them. Absolutely fucking hated them. I hated ring announcers so much that we had 2 suites in the Tropicana field, and I normally don't ask for anything. And we broke it up. It was a Legends show. We had Legends, and I went to the guys fucking at stadium, and I was like, which suite is the ring announcer in? And I'm like, oh, the ring announcer's in this suite. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the other one. That's how much I fucking hate ring announcers. Now, MMA ring announcers don't count. Pro wrestling ring announcers are the worst. MMA ring announcers, you're my homeboys, minus the buffers. Because they've done wrestling before. As soon as you've been a wrestling ring announcer, we can't be friends. All right, let's move on. Sorry, I didn't mean to rant so long. I just had to get it off the chest. It's been burning inside me, and she was awesome, and I had to give her because she's the only one I've ever liked.
15 minutes of my life are gone, and I'll never get them back. Well,
bullshit. Wait till you meet a ring announcer. Right now, you're like, oh, Dave, you're ranting for no fucking reason. And you're like, I don't fucking need to know this. Booms, when you meet a ring announcer, remember this moment. Write down the motherfucking date, because then it will be valuable to you. It will be valuable to you then. Right now, no value. No value. You never meet pro wrestling ring announcers. Go to an indie event, meet a pro wrestling ring announcer, and remember this moment. Write down the date. All right, let's go to the next match.
There's going to be one day in my life I'm going to meet like a ring announcer, then I'm going to hear this voice in my head, and it's going to be, remember your training, boom, boom.
I trust the ring announcer. They're fucking horrible human beings.
Oh, God, I can't believe we got off topic on this.
All right, go.
I'm going to take some comments real quick. First from Cena Nuffs. He says, another win for Lucha Underground. I'm glad they pulled the trigger on Hernandez turning heel quickly and didn't drag it out. Mundo Patron was very enjoyable. Right on, brother. Lennox Watterson all over the board. He says, win, not the best episode, but as usual, it was full of great in-ring action. I can't disagree with that. He's actually got a question. He says, would you consider WWE and Lucha Underground to be shows about wrestling, whereas New Japan and Ring of Honor are wrestling shows? Does NXT fall somewhere in the middle? Well, I would say definitely Lucha Underground is about wrestling. I would say New Japan is about wrestling. Ring of Honor is about wrestling because they have championships. Those are very valuable. Wins and losses matter. There are consequences for actions, and by that I mean is if you get a win, you go up the ladder. If you lose, you go down the ladder. The feuds mean something. WWE, it's a little bit more about the glitz and glamour. It's more about about the two people on top. It's more about contract signings, and trust me, I'll get into that when I do a SmackDown review later. NXT, even to some extent, I think I have a little bit of the glitz and glamour of WWE, but for the most part, it is about wins and losses and trying to get to that next level. So yeah, it's more of a wrestling show because everybody there's developing, trying to get to the top. So, Dave, you want to tackle Lennox's question here?
I think NXT is a little mix of both, but I don't think it's a good mix of both. Like, I think there's good mixes of both. I think there's a war. And it's like, well, NXT can be great, but we have to prepare them to go to WWE. So, like, I don't know. I think it's a mix, but it's not like a smooth mix. I could see people going like, no, we need characters. And then some people are like, no, just put on fucking 5-star matches. I think their special events are pro wrestling, definitely. But I think their television shows a battle and not a mix of what it once was. But NXT was pretty decent this week. But I go back and I rewatched NXT. I think the fact that Yuha Nation was there is the reason I was so fucking high on it. Like, you take away that Yuha Nation clip, that wasn't that great of a show. My love of Yuha Nation might have tainted my vision of that show. Mm-hmm. All right, any more comments before we move on?
Yeah, a couple more. One, Lennox Watterson, after your rant about ring announcers, says, I haven't met a ring announcer, but Howard Finkel seems okay to me.
That's how they trick you, bro. That's how they trick you. No, don't. You can be like, oh, well, Howard Finkel. No, that's how they trick you. Don't do it. Don't. Like, if you see Howard Finkel and you're like, I'm going to get my book signed by him, just avoid him. Just avoid them, or don't make eye contact with them. They're very horrible people. All right, any more questions?
Yeah, Ismail, I'm about to fuck this name up. Ismail Freitas, I just fucked up your name. I apologize, sir. He says, Lucha Underground has great action. People need to see Samil or AAA in Mexico. Trio Champ need more pro wrestling. Johnny Mundo and El Patron. You know what? I'm actually open to watching CMLL and AAA in Mexico. I just wish there was some English commentary that I could jump on because my Spanish is effing horrible. And I would definitely be more open to watching it and following it more religiously if there was some way we could get some English commentary on it.
See, I don't even need the English commentary. I just need a steady source. Like if there was a AAA Worlds, like New Japan World, if there was a segment like that, I would probably pay for it. Because I watch CMLL because they have the big event with New Japan. I watch AAA because of their connection with Lucha Underground. And then I try to catch Triple Mania every year just because it's their big event. But yeah, I would love to keep up with AAA and CMLL. I just need a decent source. And the language obviously would help. It would be awesome if dude, if I win the lottery, I would just pay Matt Stryker to do commentary on everything. Like, how, like, Entourage had Turtle? He would be my Turtle, and I would just be watching Lucha, like, AAA. I'd be like, you talk and tell me what's happening. What do you mean? That's your job, asshole. Either that, or if I was crazy rich, I'd have Matt Stryker fucking do every fucking commentary ever. But the language barrier doesn't scare me. I mean, I live in Japan and don't speak a lick of Japanese, so I'm like, bitch, I don't need fucking to know your words. I don't need to know your words. Who do you think I am? I don't know. I turned into white trash there, but
You're from Jersey, you can't help it.
yeah. But yeah, no, the words don't bother me that much. I mean, you can always get a friend who fucking will help you out through the way and all that. Just access to it. Like if there was and there might be that I don't know of, but if there was a AAA website or something like, oh, here we go, and it has to be pretty new. Like I don't know why. I like Ring of Honor. Sometimes I love Ring of Honor. I go from I like Ring of Honor to I love Ring of Honor, like back and forth on that range. The fact that like I didn't see this show and I don't know much about the show, but it's 3 weeks old, it's kind of a turnoff. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, right, a Ring of Honor, I can't wait. How old is this? You know what I mean? Like if AAA, like within the week, even if it was pirated, I don't give a fuck. It's a pirate's life for me. Arr! But I would pay $9.99 to follow a Lucha company. I think the language barrier doesn't bother me. It's the delay of getting content that bothers me. All right, go ahead, Booms.
All right, next, let's get back into the review here. And if you do have a question or comment, please keep sending them in. We'll get to them, I promise. Next here is a tag team match. Prince Puma teaming up with Hernandez with Conan in their corner, taking on King Cuerno and Cage. Match was actually really good. I wasn't expecting too much out of this, but I think a couple of things really surprised me. First of all, the thing that surprised me was Cage hit a fucking 619 on Prince Puma. Dude, if you watch this match for one thing, just watch it for that. That fucking huge man who's built like a goddamn brick shit house. He hit a 619, and it didn't look that bad either. And two, I was actually kind of surprised because, as was mentioned in the comments, Hernandez pretty much turned full-blown heel in this match. Interfering a little bit. Prince Puma, out there strutting so he couldn't hit his stuff. Eventually hitting Puma on the outside, abandoning Prince Puma. But the other thing that surprised me is I thought Conan would turn on Prince Puma and side with Hernandez and then have them go after the Lucha Underground Championship. But it looks like, at least for now, it looks like after this one, that Conan is solidly behind Prince Puma in this. And it advanced the feud, of course. Cage hits Weapon X, which is a cool finishing maneuver, by the way, on Prince Puma and gets the win. So Cage and King Cuerno get the win. I think it was a great I think it was a great tag match. They told a great story. It's furthering this feud. I think it's setting up for a great feud between Hernandez and Puma. Interested to see where Conan is going to fall in the middle of all this. And interested to see where, is Lucha Underground going to pull the trigger and crown a new champion soon. So I think it was absolutely amazing. Dave, your impressions on it?
Overall, I think it was an old school story of tag team partners that don't trust each other because they're going for a title. It was an old school story that's been done plenty of times, but delivered so well in the ring. Like, the story has been told over and over and over. It's kind of like The Night Before Christmas. But they delivered. They had a great showing of that old school storyline, so I really enjoyed it. And I wonder where Conan's going. I wonder who's going to get the next shot at Prince Puma. So I enjoyed it a lot. It's nothing too creative, nothing too over the top, but it's an old school story that they just delivered very well, and I enjoyed it. And as far as Conan goes, if Vampiro has taught me anything, can't trust Conan. I think Conan's gonna fuck over the Prince Puma. That's my theory. I don't read spoilers, so just in case I'm correct, that's just pure luck. But if Vampiro has taught me anything, you can't trust Conan. You just can't. Look at that son of a gun. You know? All right, Booms. You ready to rock the next one?
Rocking the next one here, and of course you bring out came time for the main event. The AAA Mega Champion Alberto El Patron versus Johnny Mundo. This was not for the AAA Mega Championship, but rather for a shot at Hernandez and a chance to become the new #1 contender for the Lucha Underground title. I know I was kind of critical the other night when I criticized Global Force Wrestling for hiring a bunch of WWE and TNA guys, and they're just rehashing things. Well, here's two former WWE guys, but dude, this was everything that was right with wrestling. I was like, wow, Lucha Underground has taken two guys that WWE had, and they just put on an absolute fantastic match. A great back and forth. There's even a little bit of a fuck up in there that they worked in. Mundo goes to the outside, and he caught a little bit of the ring steps, which were made of wood, and one of the steps shattered. And I thought for a while that Mundo may have shattered his damn skull because he hit so hard. You had these two blocking each other's finishing maneuvers. But what I liked most about it, just aside from the great in-ring action, back and forth, the crowd was absolutely into it, was how it ended. It ended on a regular wrestling maneuver. It didn't end on the cross arm breaker. It just ended with Mundo missing an opportunity to kind of get up, and Alberto Del Rio just super kicked him right in the face, got the win. And these two were laid out afterwards. It was like they went through a war. The crowd was on their feet. I mean, it was just, wow, this is wrestling. And it's main events like this that I think Lucha Underground, they could get my vote in the year for Company of the Year, or TV, at least TV Show of the Year. Because this was an absolute amazing main event. And I got to praise Lucha Underground for their consistency and their dedication to just in-ring action. And it's people that I like. And Dave, in this day and age, I just find that to be very refreshing. I guess kind of get your impressions of this, Dave. So what do you think about, two former WWE guys going in the Lucha Underground ring, putting on an amazing match that they would never be allowed to do, at least not on Monday Night Raw or Thursday Night SmackDown. And just it seemed so realistic, and it meant something. I mean, it was for the wins and losses mattered. I know I'm kind of babbling on, but that's how much I really enjoyed this match. Dave, what were your impressions? Are you as high on this match as I am?
I really enjoyed the match. Going in, I feared the two WWE guys thing. Del Rio, I'm convinced Sheamus, Del Rio, and Sean Hill. No one knows who that is, but still, put him on the list. I'm convinced that those three guys, there's two of them. There's one who busts their ass and try, and then there's one that mails it in. And I think there's two twin brothers of Del Rio, Sheamus, and Sean Hill. And you never know which one you're going to get. Today we had Del Rio bust his ass. And to me, I was really worried. I was like, man, WWE guys, they're going to fucking stink this fucking joint out. You know what I mean? It's just that's what I thought going in. But they really busted their ass. The audience was into it, which helps out a lot. And it's so fucking crazy because, like, this match probably, to the best of my knowledge, probably happened on fucking Superstars or SmackDown or Velocity. Who fucking cares? But you didn't give a shit about it. And it just shows you what hustling and booking can do. Let me tell you something. You put this same exact match on with raw booking, you put this same exact match on with raw effort, I probably don't even fucking pay attention. I probably don't. There's probably like, oh, fuck it. What the fuck? Yeah, Del Rio. Good for you, fuckface. But you never know what Del Rio's going to come out. The guy who hustled came out tonight. Johnny Mundo, he's always hustled, but, hasn't had decent booking behind him probably his whole fucking life. And I really enjoyed it. And it just, know what it is? Lucha, to me, Lucha Underground just said, look, we used your two guys, and we're fucking better than you, bitch. What are you going to do about it there? Go fucking cry on your money, assholes. That's what it looked like to me. And there are some negatives. Come negative guy. The AAA title, put that shit on the line or don't fucking bring it out. I just hate non-title matches. I don't know. It's just, a title should be fucking important. And not only that, but especially the AAA title. I don't keep up with Lucha, but as much as I probably should. I do watch Lucha, just not on the level of, expert, I guess, or super fan. But AAA titles fucking mean something. Don't fucking just bring it out as a prop. Put it on the fucking line. So there you go. The crowd was absolutely awesome. I like the finisher because it came out of nowhere and they hustled and they showed thing. But I really do love Del Rio's armbar. It's one of my favorite things. So I kind of wish she hit the armbar, but that's just nitpicking. And then one thing that Boom Boom forgot was trained away with the platypus. Perry the Batman. Black Lotus is back showing training. And you know what? I didn't really hate this segment. Out of all of these Lucha Underground, now that I don't hate the ring announcer, Black Lotus is probably the one thing I hate the most. But here's the thing. Talk about working you, brother. I fucking hate this storyline. Still intrigued to see where it goes. You're like, this fucking sucks. Let me see where this is going. You know what I mean? And I think it's just because they put like 20 plus great shows on. But the Black Lotus storyline, I think, is a little too much for me. It's like, yeah, bring it on. Oh, too far. It's like with a lover with a safe word. You're like, green bananas. Black Lotus is my safe word. But the segment wasn't too bad, and I want to see where it goes. But overall, I give Lucha Underground another win, and they're moving a lot of storylines along. And El Patron, did I say that right? My Spanish is horrible. And Johnny Mundo had a really awesome WWE-style match with hustle behind it. And I really enjoyed it. So overall, give it a win. You give it a win. Down in the comments, put win, loss, or tie. Booms, let's answer a couple comments, wrap this bad boy up so you can review the SmackDowns.
All right. Real quick, I should mention that I thought after the show had gone on, after this main event, that was it. But no, they did a little teaser trailer, kind of like after the Marvel movies. Karina walked up to a coffin. She held up some kind of mystical stone, and Mil Muertes, he opened his eyes, with like, kind of like zombie-looking eyes. So apparently they're bringing him back after that casket match. So, kind of a teaser of things to come. So Mil Muertes is looking like he's about to come back.
First, this story is a bit over the top, but I know people like that Undertaker shit, and you got to have something for everybody. Dude, all I thought of, how crazy is this bitch? Like, she's the craziest bitch I've ever fucking seen in the world. Let's just go kayfabe-wise. Look how crazy this bitch is. She loves him. She falls in love with another guy, just randomly kisses him for no fucking reason. She has that random guy beat him, and then guess she leaves him and brings him back from the dead. You might have had some crazy ex-girlfriends, but she wins the greatest crazy ex-girlfriend ever. I mean, because let's look at this on a relationship standpoint. You saved my life in an earthquake. I love you so much. Just kidding. I love this mask guy for no reason at all. The mask guy beats you and you're dead. All right, I'm bringing it back to the dead because I lost interest in the masked guy. All I'm saying is, a lot of people on television try to portray they're crazy. I believe this bitch is to be the craziest of them all. Absolutely insane. Now, Booms, you have more experience dating crazy
Oh,
ex-girlfriends.
yes, I do. Yes,
Does
I do.
Serena surpass any of your crazy ex-girlfriends?
Not quite, not quite. She's close, but not quite. She's getting there.
Man, I don't know. Katrina is absolutely beautiful, but I fear crazy girls. I don't. I'd rather have a cute, chubby, funny nerd girl than one crazy hot girl. That's just me. That's my priority standards, you know?
All right, Dave.
Oh,
I tell
here's
you
a
what.
chubby girl reading The Great Gatsby while wearing a Homestar Runner shirt. I'm all over that. Then if there's there's the hottest woman ever, but she's crazy. I'm good. The cute,
Dave.
chubby, funny one is mine.
All right, Dave. Here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to make an amendment to our death pact with each other. Now, for those of you who may not be long-time listeners, but me and Dave Kokotas actually have a death pact with one another about what we're going to do if the other one dies before the other one. We're going to have to make an amendment to this, and I think now's a good time to do it because I sent him an article. China's having trouble with funeral strippers. I'm not making this up. I can try to post the article here. But basically, it's a way to try to get more mourners to come to a funeral. So they literally have strippers, but it's a funeral. It's over there by the burial plot. So Dave, our amendment
This is awesome.
Yes. So I think the amendment to our death pact with each other should be: if you die before I do, yes, I got to drop my pants at your wake and sing "Old Grandmary just ain't what she used to be." Then say I'm not leaving until someone hands me $200. I will also hire you a chubby Asian stripper.
That's all I ask for, sir. That's all I ask for.
Do you want her? My question is, sir, do you want her to dance around a chair or a pole at your gravesite?
Yeah, let it. You know what? I'm not that mean towards women. Let her decide. She has the freedom. I believe in freedom. Even in my death, I believe in freedom. So the chubby Asian stripper, she can choose. She can choose. I believe in freedom. Let her have some. Let her have some creative freedom. Go with it. You know, you don't want to script this shit out like WWE.
Right. Now, but here's the deal. Now, see, if I die before you do, not only do you have to sing Ave Maria at my funeral, you have to hire me. Let's see. I want 2 strippers. I want 2 because I'm greedy like that. But one I'll let you pick whoever, but the other one needs to be like a little person, like a little Asian person.
All right, well, whatever. You got to write this all down because I got a bad memory.
So there you go. Because why not? If people, I don't want to say midget because that's like offensive, but just a little person. I mean, come on. Would you not want to check that out?
Yeah. No, I definitely. You know what? I regret never being able to sleep with a little person. That's probably one of my regrets. Put that on my tombstone.
Right next to you never watched an episode of Total Divas?
Yep, I never watched an episode of Total Divas. You know what? I feel good.
I didn't have a room on your tombstone.
Let me tell you something. You know what? I've messed up in life a lot. Says the guy, fucking 97 years old, reviewing wrestling on YouTube. I've messed up in life a lot. But one thing I'm proud of, you can be like, oh, are you proud of your kids? Are you proud of your business? Are you proud of No, know what I'm proud of? This is what I'm proud of. I never watched one episode of Total Divas. You know what? I made some mistakes in my life, but that's one that I'm proud of. I've made mistakes where people have died. And no, still, best decision I've ever made in my life. Best decision of my life. There you go. I bought Google stock when people didn't know what Google was. That was a good decision, but nowhere near as good of a decision as, hey, I never watched Total Divas. Best decision of my life. Best
Nice.
of my life.
All right, let's get some comments here. We're going to wrap this show up. John Christ Jules, he says, even though Monday Night Raw was a great show, I still say Lucha Underground was the show of the week based on the main event. Hey, hard to disagree with that.
All right, yeah. I think Lucha Underground gets a. I don't know. I just think they're the best American television show. All right, go ahead.
All right, next, Lennox Watterson. He has a good question here. Who should beat Puma for the championship?
I
Oh,
don't
that's a good
know.
one.
If it was me, I would never, because it's ending the season. I would never. Well, contracts matter too. There's a part of me, like, storytelling wise, fan wise, I would never get the title off Puma. You can ask Rob. We do a booking show that we got to get back into. I hate changing titles. Like, my champion would be champion for fucking 8 years because the championship means something. But considering, that they're ending the season, and I haven't read spoilers, so if this is what happens, fucking, I swear to you, I didn't read spoilers. If it was me, I would just keep, Prince Puma as champion to the very end. And if you have to worry about contracts, Del Rio is under a AAA contract. You have a working agreement with them. And you could also get the Lucha Underground thing. I would have Del Rio win the title the last show ever. And then I'd have him hold the AAA and Lucha Underground title up. And then when he goes back to AAA, I would have him have both titles. When he goes to Ring of Honor, I'd have him have both titles so that Lucha Underground is still an important thing. And then you know that Del Rio most likely will never go back to WWE, so you can trust him. Or not, you can't. Prince Puma's still young. He still has his whole career ahead of him. I don't think he can't say no to WWE. He can't say no, you know what I mean? So, if it was me, storytelling-wise, I would have Puma never lose it. And business-wise, I'd put it on Del Rio the very last show. And once again, I don't know what the spoilers are. So, like, if what I said happens, that's just by pure fucking, I guess, luck. I don't know. I have no idea who wins what, just because I think it ruins the show when I want it.
If it was me, and this is just me kind of getting out there, I would probably say Pentagon Jr. Because I just think having now Puma chase like this sadistic monster who's breaking people's arms, left and right. I just think that's a compelling story because now it's just a race to kind of, who can beat this guy, get the belt off him before he cripples the whole damn roster. I think that would be a good storyline, personally.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, what changes your way of thinking is the fact that there's a season finale and we don't know if season 2 is coming. So I think that changes a lot of people's way of thinking. Plus, like, let's say Del Rio put the AAA and the Lucha Underground title together is a good thing because let's say Del Rio does decide to leave AAA. Del Rio, well, he's not leaving with the title. So when you start season 2, hopefully soon, Del Rio, let's say he's like, fuck you, I'm going back to WWE. I love WWE's balls in my mouth. All right, good luck to you, Del Rio. They're not going to let him go with the AAA title. There's no fucking way. So at least you can have Tejano or someone in AAA that's still on the Lucha Underground roster beat him, and then you can have that footage in the can to either show highlights or the match on your first episode.
Oh, by the way, Melissa Santos is the ring announcer for Lucha Underground. I'm sorry. I just have
Well, she's the greatest ring announcer ever. I tip my hat to you. And Melissa, I don't want to ever meet you because you're the only ring announcer I absolutely like. And if I meet you, you might ruin it. So if I ever get the privilege of walking on the set of Lucha Underground, if I ever get the privilege of walking into Temple, you're beautiful. You're awesome at your job. Leave the memories alone. Like, if I go to meet you, I might just be like, you're a ring announcer! Ah! And run away. And I don't want to have that awkward experience. Let's remember you for your perfection. All right, go ahead.
All right, Lennox Watterson, he has another good question. How do you book Drago's return without insulting the fans' intelligence?
Well, this ain't my theory. This is a theory I read online. He's going to come back as, like, a fire gimmick. I think he does a fire-type character down in AAA, and like I said, I'm going off what I've read off the internet. This could be legit sources, or it could be some kid fucking playing an E-Fed. I don't know. I don't know. I think they wrote him off for the whole season. I don't want to see him return until season 2. Worry about that problem season 2. I think it's a great way to write him off. It was interesting, but there's theories that he'll come back as like a fireman or something. Not fireman, like fucking like, I gotta save you from a burning building. The fireman, like, I'm a superhero.
I'm a person literally made of fire.
Yeah. But that's just something I read online, and I don't know if it's true. If it was me, if I booked it, I didn't even worry about the season 2. I'd be like, well, that's season 2's problem.
We got to give a big, huge thank you. Give Ralph Morales, give yourself a huge Barry Horowitz, because Dave, he just sent us a link. He said these guys, and he's got a link to Twitter here, are going to do English commentary on AAA shows on a weekly basis. They haven't uploaded anything but a promo trailer, but they will update us through Twitter when they do. So let me click on the link here. And it's called Lucha Dubs, and it's apparently a couple of guys here who are. It just says we're a team of English-speaking broadcasters and Lucha fans who weekly dub for AAA shows. Partners. Oh wow! So I'll have to follow these guys on Twitter now, and maybe I can. Maybe it's a fan sub or a fan dub, but I'll take it.
If it's successful and works the same exact way, maybe we'll start doing reviews on AAA.
I would actually like to do that. AAA is a pretty big deal in Mexico, and it's not that I don't care about Mexico or Lucha Libre. I think Lucha Underground has been a great introduction for me into, the world of Lucha Libre. It's definitely portrayed a lot differently in Mexico than it is here in the United States in terms of respect, and tradition. So I'm definitely interested in giving it a chance. All right, Coco, your microphone just cut off. So anyway,
no. Here, I'm back. I just had to take care of Leo.
Okay.
Tell me about Mario. Is there any more comments? Because if not, we got to wrap this bad boy up because someone wants to play Mario and his babysitter's got to leave. Say hello. Right.
Hello, baby macaroni, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you what, I'm going to zip through these questions and comments. So, Dave, unless you want to say anything, I'm just going to zip through them here. Hugo Boss says, huge win. That main event was awesome. Mil Muertes is alive, motherfuckers. Hell yeah. Gabriel Ramirez says, when Lucha Underground worked me again this week. He forgot to add brother after they worked you. Lennox Watterson, which 3 lower card talents would you poach from Lucha Underground if you're WWE? Ooh, that's a good one.
What talent would I want from Lucha Underground?
I'd take the Trios champions.
What was the question? I'm a little unclear on the question.
Which 3 lower card talents would you poach from Lucha Underground if you're WWE? Basically, if you're WWE and you're looking at Lucha Underground, which 3 guys would you take lower card wise? I mean, no fair like Prince.
Lower end card guys is kind of weird because I don't see many lower end card guys. I guess he's meaning not main eventers.
Yeah, I guess that's what he means.
Yeah, because I don't think there's anyone. I mean, I guess you could say those guys that got their arms broke early on in the season, they would be lower end guys. But to me, I think they're all mid carders or higher because it's only a 1 hour show and with good booking, and that's why I love Lucha Underground. Mac, he's good, but they passed on Mac for health reasons, which I'm not really sure what that was about. Cage has a look and can do some amazing things. Obviously, you're asking for low-end guys. You can't say Prince Puma. I'd try to get Stryker back. I mean, Stryker would make Raw a million times better, but then, they're so attached to Michael Cole, it's ridiculous. And maybe Pentagon Jr. He has a good look to him getting over. Oh, definitely Son of Havoc, but I don't know. He's a champion. The lower card end guy is what really screws me up. But I would go Cage, Son of Havoc, Match Striker. If I was, so yeah, that would be my picks.
Okay, cool. Let's see here. Lennox Watterson asks again, should WWE adopt a Trios Championship and drop the Intercontinental Championship? No, because they don't have the roster for it. The only thing they've got as far as 3-man groups go, you have New Day. That's really about the only legit 3-man team that you have. I mean, yeah, you could put the Wyatt family back together, but then you've only got 2, and then you've got to look at the cycle.
The problem is with the Wyatt family and the Shield, they're not going to put that much effort into a division they don't give a shit about.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why they did the Trios Championships in Mexico is, if you remember the commentary from Matt Stryker, is because a lot of these Mexican rosters, the rosters down in Mexico, had so many people on it, they needed to start, giving them something to do, so they created Trios Championships, and so that way they could put 6 men in the ring and get a match out of the way and find a way to work them into the show. They did that in World Class Championship Wrestling because there were 3 Von Erich brothers, and they needed something to kind of get the Von Erich brothers over with, so they had them feud with the Freebirds over that. So that, and just WWE just does not have that depth of a roster. Now, WCW, during the Monday Night Wars during the 90s, back when they had, 80 people on the roster, maybe that's an exaggeration, I think that would have been perfect for a Trios Championship, but WWE, no. And then JC Garcia, he says, what do you think of Mil Muertes' return? Cheers from Morelos, Mexico. Well, hola, senor. And by the way, that's about the extent of my Spanish, sir. I'm glad to see him come back. I'm interested to see what his agenda is now that he's coming back from that big loss of the casket match. Are they going to do like an Undertaker, undead zombie gimmick? Who knows? Let's take a look. And Dave, I think that's going to do it as far as comments go. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. I tell you what, I'll look at a couple more questions, get some more comments here. So
plug that you'll be doing a SmackDown review in a little bit. Do you want to hear Baby Macaroni's Lucha song?
Yes, I would love to hear Baby Macaroni's Lucha song.
We hadn't viewed it, but I don't know if he'll do it because he's being shy. Lucha, Lucha, Lucha. Lucha, 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 Lucha. I don't know if you can hear him, but that's what he does when he sees pro wrestling. He just starts screaming Lucha and does the little Lucha dance. Lucha, 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 Lucha. And if you want to hear a bit more Baby Macaroni, you can watch me and my sons play on Let's Play Punk and Cheese. Like, comment, subscribe. Say Punk and Cheese. There you go. All right, Booms. Wrap this up, and we'll start your SmackDown review while I just
all right, kids. I want to tell everybody thank you for listening and joining us here, and I also want to give a big shout out to Jimmy King for sharing this on Google+. Much love to you, sir. And tell everybody to like and subscribe to us here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We are Kocosports.com. It's your home for all combat sports. That includes boxing, mixed martial arts, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling, sumo wrestling, taekwondo, kickboxing, judo. If you get your nose broke doing it, we got it covered there on the site. Even be sure to check out our news and gossip section, which is updated daily, as well as our very own, very popular video on demand section. So you can go back and watch some old episodes. We've got our archives of Wrestle AM here on the site. And the best part about Kocosports.com is it's all absolutely 100% free. It's where the world goes to kick ass. So this is Boom Boom. And for my partner, come on, Dave, do your catchphrase.
All right, let's see if Baby Macaroni will do it. Baby Macaroni, come on. You want to say I am over? Ready? We're training. We're using our kids for the views. All right, ready? Say go Kocosport.net. Perfect. Say I am over. Dun, 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 dun.